On Sunday, the Kenyan head of state met Ethiopia's President Sahle-Work Zewde, Prime Minister Abiy, as well as representatives of various political parties. Details of the meetings were not shared, as Kenyatta's office told SABC that the meetings were private. The meetings pointedly came hours before the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken was to begin a tour of Africa, starting with Kenya, where the issue of the conflict in Ethiopia will dominate talks.
It's important to remember that Kenya is a main anchor state in the Horn of Africa region and an island, so to speak, of stability in an increasingly volatile region. And so, because of its place, its role, and its political significance, diplomatic importance, Nairobi naturally is going to play a role as a platform or a springboard from which diplomacy within the region can be conducted.
Last week, Kenyatta called for dialogue between the warring factions in the country. His sentiments have been echoed by African Union mediator and former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo, who said in a statement that he was hopeful a solution between the warring factions in the country would be reached. He says, while all sides to the conflict agreed to end the fighting, the manner in which a ceasefire would be reached is in contention. While Addis Ababa wants an immediate cessation of hostilities and a recognition of the government, the rebels want a transitional government put in place that includes all actors.
For Abiy Ahmed's government, they would like to reclaim some of the lost advantages, especially in the Amhara and Afar regions, and that is why they are demanding some kind of withdrawal, in part because it's also a way to save face, not to be seen as having made concessions. On the other hand, the rebels have sensed potential victories on the battlefield, and therefore they may also want to push as hard as they may before they come to that agreement.
The U.S. has previously said that there still remains a small window of opportunity to find peace in the country. It has said it will support Africa's mediation efforts, but has also threatened sanctions.
Potentially expanded international sanctions against Ethiopia poses a threat, especially in worsening the humanitarian crisis, but also in slowing potential economic growth and recovery and reconstruction of the countries coming from the war. And so the fear is that we should not move towards what I would call Paranization of Ethiopia in ways that, of course, Eritrea today finds itself.
The Ethiopian government has been locked in a year-long battle with the Tigrayan rebels, who have in recent days said they plan to seize the capital, Addis Ababa. Thousands have been killed in the year-long war, and more than 2 million have been displaced in what is now a humanitarian crisis. Blinken will also seek to see a return to civilian rule in Sudan, where a coup took place last month. Sarah Kimani, SABC News, Kenya.